Welcome to Mornings with Patricia. Happy Monday. So, today I want to talk about thoughts are like chickens. Yeah. Thoughts are like chickens. Don't turn me off. Don't turn this off. Stay with me here, okay? Thoughts are like chickens. So if you don't know who I am and you're discovering me for the first time, it's worth your time to stay with this. So I live in a small town where we're allowed four hens, and I got these hens about maybe 2.5 months ago, just as little tiny chickens, or little tiny chicks. And I have been watching them grow. They're finally outside, and they're in this beautiful pen and this beautiful coop that my husband made. And I often go out there, and I have a chair and a little settee sort of thing, and I listen to them talk, and I watch them, and then I meditate out there, and they've got this amazing behavior that is so wonderful to meditate. But as I'm watching them over all these months, one day I thought, oh my goodness. My goodness, their behavior is like our thoughts, because they'll be all here, just kind of picking at the ground, doing their thing. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're off to the other side of the pen, right? And one of them goes, and the others like follow. Ooh, they're just gone. And I can't see that there's anything that interesting on the other side of the pen. Sometimes they just go over on the other side of the pen, nothing has scared them, and they're just like standing there. And then they'll peck, and then they'll be off again. And it's this really interesting behavior. And it reminded me that day of our thoughts, because we'll be thinking along something, and then have you ever found yourself just like way over here, and you don't know how you got there? You don't know how your thoughts got there. And once you are aware of it, and your thoughts are there, you're like, what? Why, how did I get here? And what am I doing here? What's the purpose of me thinking about this? And so, I want to talk today about, making the analogy, or using them as a simile, or the metaphor, however I pull this off, depending on what verbiage I use, to think about something concrete that we can tie to our behavior of our thinking patterns, and how you can go about starting to organize your thoughts and discipline yourself and discipline your thoughts. So there's some really, really interesting things about chickens that I had learned. One is that mothers talk to their chicks while they're still in the egg. Right? And so if you think about this, if you can see your thoughts as something that needs your care, and that shouldn't just be left to be scattering all over the place, but they're your responsibility. Your thoughts are your responsibility. And so, starting to talk to your mind and getting your thoughts to be in harmony with your goals and with your meditation, or with whatever it is, that you can have a relationship with your mind and with your thoughts. And I often say, our mind doesn't even know what's real and not real. If it thinks about something, it thinks that it's very real. So, starting to have this relationship with your thoughts. And then, I was thinking also about, we have these roosts up on the in the chicken pen, or in the chicken house, the coop. And growing up with chickens, I always knew that we had those, but I didn't know why. And the reason why chickens roost or get up on the little roost is because that way they're up above all the mites and any of the bacteria, and so they're not as likely to get mites when they're up on the roost, and so they like to be up on the roost. And if you think about your thoughts and how you can elevate them, right? Elevate them from the dust and the parasitic behavior that goes into how we think sometimes. And so this is important because if you don't elevate your thoughts, if you don't protect your thoughts and elevate them, your thoughts can become destructive behavior. Your thoughts can start working in destructive patterns where you're just kind of picking yourself apart, you're judging yourself, you're doing these things. So when you find yourself doing that, put them on the roost, right? Require that your thoughts, sit on a roost, that they're a higher level, and that way they're above all the parasites. The other kind of fun facts that I've read, and I don't know that they have anything much to do with this talk, maybe I'll find a way to tie them in, but that chickens can recognize over 100 different objects and faces, and they also recognize people. So, and also really interestingly, if you hide something from a chicken that you take it away and hide it, they know that you've done that. They can actually, scientifically, they've proven they know that you've done that. And our babies don't even know that. So chickens have very, very interesting behavior. Chickens are thoughts, so maybe we can talk about the synaptic pattern, right? Because, as you keep thinking thoughts over and over and over, they make a synaptic pattern in your mind, and that's the groove that they'll run on, and so and that's, there's certain little triggers that if they recognize, and they go, oh, we're supposed to be in this little synaptic pattern, and that'd be the synaptic pattern of judgment, or I'm not feeling good enough, or something like that. So you need to shake it up. You need to introduce foreign things to your thoughts, right? And this is why at the end of the program, I'm always like, oh my God, I love myself, because we're not really taught to do that in our society. We think, oh, you're if you are saying, oh, I love myself and whatever, you're being narcissistic. This is not narcissistic behavior. This is loving the light within you and beginning to know really the true you, who you are, right? Who is Patricia? Sometimes that takes years, lifetime of discovery, maybe many lifetimes of discovery. So, shake it up. Introduce new things into your thought pattern so that, it's something new. It's something wonderful. And your thoughts go, what? Your mind goes, what? What's that? And and it begins to get enamored, because our mind is enamored, and our thoughts, as they bunch up, can create enamored patterns. So always introduce new things into your mind, because, and again, I've said this in other videos, but I can't remember the exact number, but only 95% of the thoughts we thought yesterday, right? So think about this. Now, I know that if we like a show, we'll watch reruns of it, right? But what if I told you that, look, you can only watch one show for the rest of your life, and you're just going to have to watch it over and over and over, and then every day I'll give you 5 minutes of watching time that's something a little new. Not a lot new, but something a little new. How would you feel about that? You'd be like, I'm not going to watch it. Patricia, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to watch that show anymore. That's crazy. Well, but that's what our thoughts do. That's what our mind does over and over and over, right? So it's no wonder that we're waking up and we're like, oh gosh, different days, same old stuff, right? But it doesn't have to be like that. But you need to be interactive with your mind. You need to realize that your thoughts are little chickens you need to take care of. You need to feed them. You need to water them. You need to house them. Right? You need to love them. You need to care for them so that they can give back to you. Right? But they can't do that on their own. See, you're the caretaker. If I don't go feed my chickens, pretty soon the area that they're in, they're going to eat all the bugs. If I don't water them, right? So they're going to die. And your thoughts are like that. They're going to atrophy. They're going to cut off, and they don't have a new source of nutrients. So you get the same stuff day after day after day. The other thing, what else did I read? Oh, this is weird. I read it on a site, and it seemed to be a pretty good scientific site, but it said that the chicken is the closest living relative to the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay, so I had to sit with that because, I don't know a whole lot about dinosaurs. I used to be quite enamored with them when I was in college, and there was some really interesting theories coming out at that time. That was years ago. But I was thinking, okay, what is our concept, our vision of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, little, right? Scary dude with the little arms, and well, now I'm dating myself. In the 70s, they made a remake of it, but in the 70s there used to be this kids show called Land of the Lost, and you were always they were always running away from the big things like the T-Rex guys. So, or you can think of Jurassic Park, whatever you want to think of, and then you think of this little chicken being the closest living relative. I need to do more research on that. I need to figure out how that is, right? Because also, I can't remember his name. I always bring him up when I'm talking with Bruce, and he was from Colorado, and I don't even know if he's still living, but there was a professor who used to say that dinosaurs were actually mammals, not reptiles. Now I'm really getting off the subject, but anyway, oh, okay, see what happened there? All right. And did you see how my thoughts went from one thing to the next, and you just followed me. You just followed me all over the map. That's where we went. I was talking about thoughts, then I brought up that fact about the T-Rex and chickens, which I really did read. And then I went off on this thing about the mammals and the reptiles, and you went right with me. See? So when this starts to happen, you can just hook it and reel it in. Hook it and reel it in. You don't have to judge the thought. You don't have to do any of those things. But the more you begin to notice your particular thought patterns, whatever they are, then you can hook them and reel them in. Remember, put them on a roost, right? Remember, talk to them in utero, okay? These are your babies. These are not strangers in a strange land. This is your mind. This is your territory. They're not visiting. They live there, okay? And so you're responsible for them. You're responsible. So thoughts are like chickens. Remember that. They seem to have a lot in common, don't they? Now that I've implanted that, and now that we've talked about some of the things that the chickens do, roost, how you need to care for them, how they recognize over 100 different faces or objects, right? How they're related to T-Rex. Oh, just think about the wonderful Monday you're going to have. So try to think about something funny around chickens, and then if you on your Monday travels get a little bit backward in your thinking, introduce that funny thought that makes you laugh. Shake it up a little bit, right? Make your thoughts cluck. All right, and we can't have roosters in town, but if you need to, make your thoughts cock-a-doodle-doo. Anything you need to do to keep control of your thoughts. They're yours. My gosh, they should be good ones. All right, so I hope you have a very happy Monday. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, I love myself. I love you. Thanks so much, and thanks for sharing my chicken time. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.